Leader Ma, I have no doubt in my mind that you have the best of intentions in this bill, and I am not going to fearmonger. I don't believe people on this side are trying to fearmonger. I'm going to tell you about one of these facilities that's just outside my district now that I went and visited 5 years ago when this first arose. And at that time, they implored me not to pass this legislation. It was going to harm them, cut back on the amount of work they had, if not completely shut them down. I spoke with a new director this morning, and let me explain how this facility works. It's a single building in Batavia. It has 25 people who get to come there every day and do the piecework that local manufacturers and businesses are able to provide them. This facility has partnered with other businesses in the area that care enough to bring their material to this facility, pay a rate to have the work done, and then come back and pick it up. They're doing somewhat, I believe, these businesses charitable work on their own in doing so. I don't think they're breaking even, but they believe it's important to help in this situation. And Leader Ma, I know you don't agree with me on this, but I wish you'd hear me. This individual has been in social services their whole life, is what they told me, or at least for the last 15 or more years. He was at Hesed House, which is probably the largest homeless shelter in Kane County, and he's here now. And he said, if you're viewing these places as places of employment, you're looking at it wrong. We provide a social service. These are social service providers, and they do it without any funding from the state. We do a horrible job at this, folks. And I know this says subject to appropriation, but we've had years to provide appropriations for these facilities and have done nothing. 5 years ago, they asked me for a grant because they need to expand. They currently have 25 people. They have 5 more on a waiting list who want to come there during the day for the service they provide. And they can't do it because we do nothing to help them. They raise all this money on their own. And this gentleman told me that if this bill does pass, the people that go there day in and day out to have something to do, to feel productive, to socialize with others, some very severely disabled that don't complete much work in a day, and some not as disabled that complete a decent amount.
Representative, would you like someone to give you 3 minutes?
Please.
Representative Ozinga gives you 3 minutes.
They're not going to be able to go there anymore because if the work doesn't dry up completely, they know they're going to lose at least a good share of it. And if that happens, he said, you know what the lives of these people will then be? Their parents, who have oftentimes both of them work and are caring for adult disabled children, are either going to have to, one of them stop working to care for this child during that time, or hire somebody to do so. Your intention's great, I'm sure it is. But this is going to harm some people that you're not intending to. It is. It's not fear-mongering. I'm not making this up. If he had told me that this will have no impact whatsoever, and he's not part of this association, I wouldn't say a word because I agree. People should be paid equally. But in certain situations, as this gentleman told me, this is a social service, Leader Ma. He's not providing employment, he's providing a social service. Don't take this away from them. I ask that you pull the bill and work on it further. I know you've worked on it a long time, and I appreciate that. For some reason, we weren't included, and I don't know why some of these places weren't included either. But more work needs to be done on this. I'm sure we can reach some sort of agreement. Please don't put these people out of work. If the leader will not pull this bill and work on it further, please vote no.